We can do that.
That's it. We're back online now, Chuck.
Mike and I have done this
Very
before.
good to those in PinFAB world that will be watching on YouTube, welcome. Only Chuck and myself, but we're here.
We're here.
Okay.
We're the ones that count, right?
Yeah. Anyway, over to you, Chuck.
Do you want me to start out? Okay. I'll tell you a little story about this little tune I'm going to try to play here. I've had it on my list for, I don't know, a year, and I bet I've played over it 1,000 times. But it's an Irish tune, and it's too bad Andy or John aren't on here, but they would know it. But I make a mistake every time I try to practice it, so don't be surprised. It's called O'Keefe's Slide, and it was written by a fellow, Padraig O'Keefe, in 1887. He lived from 1887 to 1963, so he was a fiddle player and a songwriter. I'm sure the Irish folks will know it. Let me start over. See, I already messed up. I struggled through it.
Oh, that's better. Well done, Chuck.
That's it. Thank you. Well, I'm glad to get that one out of the way. I've been dreading trying to play that one.
Well, you got through it.
I did get through it, yeah, just barely.
Hello, Chris.
Good morning.
Oh,
Good
hey,
evening.
Chris.
Sorry. Just finished for dinner, that's why I'm a bit late logging on.
Okay.
Well, Steve and I were late too.
Put the screen down. That's it. I can see you now, Chris. You are like the Chad.
Sorry about that.
Anyway, Chris, do you want to give us a tune?
Oh, Chris. I just literally finished for okay, I'll try. I'll have a crack at something. Just a minute. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. The corn is as high as an elephant's eye, and it looks like it's climbing clear up to the sky. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. All the cattle are standing like statues. All the cattle are standing like statues. They don't turn their head as they see me ride by. And the little brown maverick is winking her eye. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. All the sounds of the earth are like music. All the sounds of the earth are like music. The breeze is so busy it don't miss a tree, and the old weeping willow is laughing at me. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. Oh, what a beautiful day. Thank you very much indeed.
All right, way to go, Chris.
Nice one. Well done. Oh, where's it gone?
We clapped and you went away.
Yeah.
It's magic.
That never happens if Mike was here.
I know. That fella, I told Barry the other day, I said, I don't know how he does it all. He can juggle 10 balls at once.
Okay. Right. Well, over to me, I guess then.
Sure, go right ahead.
So I'm going to have a go at an Elton John song, and it's a song called "Your Song." So it goes back to the very early days of Elton, but I think it opened the door to his very successful career. Ah, Chris is back with us. So you just wait for Chris to connect in.
Oh, no, not again.
You all right, Chris?
We could hear you there, Chris, but we can't see you.
Is he there?
He seems to be, but I can't hear him saying anything.
Can you hear us, Chris?
He's muted.
Yeah. Well, I hope he can join us very quickly. Okay, so as we were saying, Elton John, it's Your Song. Where are we going? Song sheets.
Oh, that's better. Okay. Cheers, Chris.
Welcome,
I'm back,
Chris.
back live at long last. Sorry, mate. Do apologise. I haven't done through.
It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. I don't have much money, but boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live. If I was a sculptor, but then again, no, or a man who makes potions in a traveling show. I know it's not much, but it's the best I can do. My gift is my song, and this one's for you. And you can tell everybody this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. I sat on the roof and kicked out the moss with a few of the verses, but they got me quite cross. But the sun's been quite kind while I wrote this song. It's for people like you that keep it turned on. So excuse me for getting, but these things I do. You see, I've forgotten if they're green or they're blue. Anyway, the thing is, what I really mean Yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen. And you could tell everybody this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. Hey!
All right.
Thank you.
I don't sing, Steve, but Elton John songs seem to be difficult to me. There's a big range there. He's got quite a range of high to low,
Yeah.
and you jump between them quite often.
You can, in his early career, I think, because he had a very different singing ability. And then he had these polyps dealt with in his throat, and his voice came down a few
Oh, really?
octaves.
Yeah.
So you notice it in his, but he reckons that he sings better in his later career than he did when he was early. But I'll let him hold his own view on that. But
Yeah.
anyway,
It's still good.
yeah. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it.
That was
So,
great.
Chuck, we'll come back to you, sir. Are you all
Comes
right now,
around.
Chris? Are you?
He's disappeared again. He was on there just a minute ago.
He's in and out like a Conservative Prime Minister.
Oh,
Come back, Chris.
well, do you want me to go ahead and he can
Yeah, you
pop in when
carry
he
on.
comes in?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to do an Elvis song. It's "Are You Lonesome Tonight?" and it's a famous Elvis song. But I researched it a little bit. It was actually written in 1926, way before Elvis's time, and it was a hit in 1927, 1950, and 1959 by different artists, and then finally in 1960 by Elvis himself, and he made it a huge hit. There's Chris. And it's a shame because the two writers, this guy named Roy Turk and Lou Hanman, they had passed away by 1960, so they didn't get any of the royalties, but maybe maybe their relatives did. So here we go. I'm going to give it a shot.
Chuck. That is such a lovely tune, though. Anyway,
Yeah,
I know
and
when Elvis put his stamp on it, but the former artist you were talking about that wrote the song and whoever
yeah,
performed it,
you
was
know,
it
I
in that
don't.
similar style?
Yeah, I think it's been that same way. I don't know. I guess Elvis put his twist on it, but I think the tune has been the same. I didn't
Hmm.
really go back and look. I should look up the 1926 version, see how it sounds.
Yeah, because you don't know if it was done in that same tempo
Yeah,
as
that's right.
Elvis on the song.
True.
Yeah,
I
no,
was
it's
reading though that Elvis, Elvis had gotten into the rock and roll and the faster songs and all that, and this was a little bit later in his career, and he liked this old style of music, and he liked gospel. He's heavily influenced with gospel music, so he liked that kind of stuff. He enjoyed that tempo of music.
yeah. I think where he was it Tupelo he was raised
Yeah,
and born.
he was born in
But
Tupelo and he
they
moved to Memphis.
yeah, but they said in his earlier life um, there were a lot of gospel churches and black people that were
Oh yeah.
singing that gospel music, and he really did take a shine to it apparently.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in Mississippi, so I know a little bit about Mississippi. Tupelo is in Mississippi. It's a little farther north than where I was born, but yeah, it's heavily influenced by blacks and the gospel, black gospel music, and street singers and that sort of thing. And he was very religious. His mom took him to church every Sunday, and I read a little about him a long time ago, but I've forgotten most of it. But he did a lot of church singing. That's how he learned to sing.
Yeah, and once you've got that under your belt, you can basically he can apply that into most of his music. And I was going back to the Elton songs. I know on a number of songs where he's introduced gospel choirs as the backing singers,
Yeah,
and they really do put the stamp on on the recording. They're just
yeah,
incredible vocalists.
exactly. Yeah,
My hat is off to them already, Chuck.
yeah. They're very, very emotional people, and they can put a lot into a song.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Chris, do you want to take us away now with a? You're muted.
Muted. I'm muted. Sorry about that. Um, I have been looking up recently the Second World War songs because I was asked not so long ago, were there many new songs in the Second World War? There weren't many because most of the First World War songs were backed by those in the armed forces in the Second World War. However, from 1939 to 1940, there were about 18 songs which were related to the things that were happening in England, which Chuck may find of interest because it was known as the phony war. We were rationed in every quarter you could think of. You couldn't buy cigarettes or beer and whiskey, and you couldn't buy eggs, cheese, butter, milk without coupons and being able to go and find them. And songs like "They're All Under the Counter Now," this war may be hard now. It's in our backyard, and Bill's been painting white lines to make the streets look as if they ain't, and so on. And there's a whole raft of songs like this. And the only two songs I could find that were brand new to the Second World War was one which is a very rude, lewd rather, song, which was to do with the Parachute Regiment, which is a brand new regiment that was formed. And the other one that I came across was one that Lily Marlene made famous in the First World War. She left Germany and went to America and became a patriot of America. And she sang the English version of uh, Lily Marlene, and the D-Day Dodgers, who were part of the 8th Army, were fighting in North Africa, Sicily, Italy. And Lady Astor, who was an MP at the time, stood up and said that the D-Day Dodgers had somehow dodged D-Day and they wrote their own parody to the song. So I'm going to give you two versions. One is the irreverent one, which is to do with the Parachute Brigade. Albert Brown went off to join the Parachute Brigade. Albert Brown went off to join the Parachute Brigade. He packed his vest and underpants instead of a parachute, and he ain't gonna jump no more. They scraped him off, they dropped him from a Lancaster at 40,000 feet. They dropped him from a Lancaster at 40,000 feet. They dropped him from a Lancaster at 40,000 feet, and he ain't gonna jump no more. They scraped him off the runway like a dollop of strawberry jam. They scraped him off the runway like a dollop of strawberry jam. They scraped him off the runway like a dollop of strawberry jam, and he ain't gonna jump no more. They took him home to mother on a piece of 4x2. They took him home to mother on a piece of 4x2. They took him home to mother on a piece of 4x2, and he ain't gonna jump no more. Thank you very much indeed. Now, the next one.
What's the second one?
The second one is the D-Day Dodgers. And it starts off with the English translation, which Lana Anderson made famous by singing it from America over to England. Underneath the lamplight by the barrack gate, darling, I remember the way you used to wait. It was there you whispered tenderly that you loved me, you'll always be my lily of the lamplight, my own Lily Marlene. By 1943, it was the anthem of the Eighth Army, and the words changed. And the version I've got is like this. Orders came from sailing from somewhere over there. All confined to barracks was more than I could bear. I knew you were waiting in the street. I heard your feet, but could not meet my lily of the lamplight, my own Lily Marlene. We are the D-Day Dodgers, way out in Italy, always on the vino, always on the spree. Eighth Army scroungers and their tanks, we live in rows among the Yanks. We are the D-Day Dodgers, way out in Italy. We landed at Salerno, a holiday with pay. The Jerrys brought the bands out to greet us on our way, showed us the sights and gave us tea. We all sang songs, the beer was free. We are the D-Day Dodgers in sunny Italy. Naples and Casino were taken in our stride. We didn't go to fight, we just went for the ride. Angros and Sangro were just names, we only went to look for dames. The Artful D-Day Dodgers in sunny Italy. Dear Lady Astor, you think you know a lot, standing on a platform and talking Tommy Rot. We think your mouth's too bloody wide, that's from the D-Day Dodgers in sunny Italy. Look around the mountains in the mud and rain. You'll see the scattered crosses, there's some that have no name. Heartbreak and toil and suffering gone, the boys beneath them slumber on. They are the D-Day Dodgers who stay in Italy. Thank you very much indeed. There were umpteen songs which were written like, hey, little hen. I got very used to wearing my gas mask, and many of the songs at the beginning of the Second World War were parting songs because all the children who lived in cities and towns were shipped off to relations or people they didn't know at all into the countryside so that they avoided the Blitz and being bombed out of their homes. Wow. And other songs came into being. Gracie Fields made one very famous song, which was "Good Night, Children Everywhere," which was sung on the radio to about 5 o'clock in the evening for all the parents and children who are separated from their parents. And there were things like, "We've got a lovely shelter where the roses used to grow," which when air raid shelters were being built in people's back gardens, and so on. There were about 18 brand new songs, which were all related to "Tears on My Pillow," "Somewhere in France," "I'll get to know you," I'll still love you even though I can't see you," and so on. Many, many songs like that.
Yeah.
"Hey Little
Wow.
Hen" was another one that came up, which said, when will you lay me an egg for my tea?" and things like that. Anyway, that's my
Well,
contribution to
Very good.
the end of the
uh,
Second World War. With,
I'll come. I'll come back to the first song in there for the translation. I'm assuming you meant underpants, because pants in the States are your trousers, are they not?
Yes.
Oh, they are.
No,
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, we just call them pants.
I'm sure you worked that one out, Chuck.
I got the gist of it all. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty funny.
But there was one that came over from the States, which I believe, I can't remember, there were a group of sisters who sang it, and that was "Coming Home on a Wing and a Prayer" from bombing raids in Germany.
The
And that
Andrews
was by
sisters.
both the RAF and the American Air Force.
Yeah. The Andrews sisters.
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, they were really good. I like them still.
Yeah. So do I, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, Chris. That's well, I was 1950s born, so yes, a little bit before my time, but it's interesting that the songs that reflect lifestyle in the Second World War, and it was obviously the hardship because rationing. We were very much reliant on a lot of goods coming across the North Atlantic,
Indeed.
and then we lost so much shipping by subs in that. That's very, very tragic times.
Yep. Hope we never have another world war, but things aren't looking great.
Don't know. Don't know.
No.
Nonetheless, who knows?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. It's well, we're still clear of the politics because I prefer the music because
There
I
you
think
go.
politics would send me grey.
Well, have you got another tune for us, Steve?
I've got another tune.
All right.
So this. Let's get this fired up. I wanted to have a go at a Frank Sinatra song. It's a song called "Send in the Clowns." Isn't it rich? Are we a pair? Me here at last on the ground, you in midair. Send in the clown. Isn't it bliss? Don't you approve? One who keeps tearing around, one who can't move. Where are the clowns? sand in the clouds. Just when I stopped opening doors, finally knowing the one that I wanted was yours, making my entrance again with my usual flair, sure of my lines, no one is there. Don't you love fast? My fault, I feel. I thought that you want what I want. Sorry, my dear. But where are the clowns? Send in the clowns. Don't bother, they're here. Isn't it rich? Isn't it queer? Losing my time this late in my career. Where are the clowns? There ought to be clowns. Well, maybe next year.
There you go. Nice. Good song.
Yeah, it's not one I hear very often, but it's such a lovely song.
Yeah, isn't it? It's a sad song, but it's a good song.
Yeah, you just got to get the right emotion into the song.
Exactly. You did well.
Thank you. Right. Well, we've done a once-er. Do you got another tune for us, Chuck, or what?
I don't really have anything else. If you don't mind, I've got a couple I've been working on, but I'm not ready for them.
Okay. Well, I think we got a live meeting coming up. Is it next week, Chris? Do you know?
I'm pretty sure it's either next week or the week after.
I think it is next week. Yeah.
I think it's next week.
Hopefully we can connect on that next live one, Chuck.
Maybe so, yeah.
Always a pleasure to see you and everyone else that joins us on these Zoom sessions. I enjoy them anyway. So
I do too. I enjoy seeing you guys, all of you guys. All right.
Before we go, Chuck, I'd just like to mention a couple of other songs. When I said war songs in the Second World War, many of them were, as I say, parting songs. Tears on My Pillow, We'll Meet Again. I Get Very Fond of My Gas Mask. And the list just gets longer and longer, but there are one or two, like the one I listed. The war may be hard now, it's in our backyard, but if I know you, you'll keep smiling through. Though you draw your pay just to spend half a day in the ration queue, you'll keep smiling through. And when you put out the porch light, put out that torchlight, knowing in your heart it's wise, but they can never put the light out in your eyes. And things like that were sung very much as parting songs during the Second World War and the beginning thereof. And between 1939, when war was declared in the middle of June, I think it was, by Christmas, 750,000 men had actually enlisted to join the forces. And those from 17 to 41, unless you were in reserved occupation, which was ambulance drivers and police officers and the like, you had no real option but to join up and fight for king and country.
Wow.
But then that certainly opened the opportunity then, because a lot of women folk took up the role of the men's work, if I could put it like that, in the factories and all the effort that they done.
Yes,
I
indeed.
mean, it always used to say that can't be Queen Elizabeth II, and she was like stripping down a gearbox in an army.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So she did know her way around mechanics.
Yeah. My late father-in-law, he enlisted and he worked for a film studio that used to put bombs and explosions around to make it look as if factories and things were being exploded around a place called Shepperton, to fool the Germans into thinking that there were more going on outside London than London itself. So London didn't get so badly bombed as it did. But my father-in-law, when he joined up, the Bolting brothers who ran the film studio said, "Look, George, if you don't come back with no arms and no legs, we'll still employ you." And when he came back from the war, he was employed by the Bolting brothers. And
Wow.
sadly, he passed away when he was only 54 years of age. But yes, he did his bit for king and country, as did my father. But I was born in 45, which was a time when the war was over virtually. But there we are. There's still bomb holes and car parking spaces where literally places where buildings have been destroyed, and national car parks and others took up the space and said, "Oh, you can park your car here."
Yeah.
It could be, Chuck, for those conspiracy theorists amongst us. That's where they filmed the moon landing.
Oh yeah, I've heard that before. Actually, it's funny. It's funny you would mention that, Chris. I was just reading something not long ago about a group during World War II in England, I believe, that made these blow up tanks and airplanes, and I don't know what all they made, but to make it look like you had a lot more artillery than you really did. It's a pretty smart thing, yeah.
Well, that was done to avoid detection by the Germans on the masses of tanks and armament that was coming across, thank God, from America.
Wow.
And we had the big invasion, and everything was all the names of the ports and the harbours and the front line of the defences that the Germans had set up. We fooled them by not using their correct names, by using Utah and Omaha and other such names. And we fooled the Germans right up to and including D-Day. And the leader of the armed forces actually went back to Berlin to celebrate his wedding anniversary with his wife. And that was when D-Day actually started. And there was nobody in charge when from the German side when we actually invaded.
Never heard that. Wow.
Unfortunately, thousands of men and civilians got killed during that invasion.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much, Chuck. Chris, lovely to see you. And I hope we can connect up on the next live session, Chuck.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's next Wednesday. I recall that. Steve told me that.
So. I'm pretty sure it is as well, but I haven't got a note of it in my diary, so I'll check with Barry and come back to one of you and let you know. I haven't got your details, Chuck, so it'll be down to you.
I'll get a message, but I'm sure that's when it is. Okay, see you guys.
Well, I'm sure we'll get something on the PinFAB newsletter anyway that often comes out just before the session.
Exactly. So, exactly.
Anyway, stay safe. See you soon.
Many thanks for listening to me, Chuck, and I'm glad I could join you. All the best.
Yeah, good seeing you, Chris. Bye, Steve.
Bye, Chuck.
Good. Bye.